If you clicked on this video, chances are you're a small streamer trying to grow on Twitch. Now, when I first started growing on Twitch, I watched a ton of YouTube videos about how to grow on Twitch and how to build my community, but none of those tips that people gave me actually ended up working for me. I'm not telling you that they're lying, it's just that there's some misleading information that's pretty commonly believed that isn't actually all that helpful in the grand scheme of things. Now, I'm hovering at around 30,000 followers on Twitch and growing more every day. I have a pretty good understanding of what got me here and how I built my community, so today I'm going to be sharing with you everything that I know. There's three main things that you need to be focusing on when you're not streaming to help build a community. And then there's three main things you need to be focusing on while you are streaming to keep that community and continue to spiral that growth. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, I'm going to assume that you're starting off with either no community or a very small community and you're looking to grow that so that you can stream to more people. So I want to talk about what you should be doing while you're not live. The first thing that I want to talk about is other platforms and how useful they actually are. A lot of videos will tell you that if you just make videos on YouTube, you can grow there and then bring those followers over to Twitch. But that is so much easier said than done. YouTube is a very hard and unforgiving platform to grow on, especially when you're starting out from nothing and have no experience. Now, YouTube will be helpful later on in your career when you start building more of a community, but the thing is, I didn't start YouTube until after I'd already grown over 25,000 followers on Twitch. I did that 100% without YouTube. Now, I did focus on other platforms though, much more than I focused on Twitch, in specific, TikTok. Now, a lot of people have this bad perception of TikTok that it's just full of e-boys dancing or something and it's not actually a good platform, but that's so not true. That's only a small percent of TikTok that does this, and there's so many niches in TikTok that you can fit into and find your community and grow it there. I have over 360,000 followers on TikTok and I've been doing it for less than a year. When I first started out, I was just posting videos for fun, and then when I started to take things more seriously, my growth skyrocketed on TikTok. And with that growth on TikTok came growth on Twitch, because in my bio I had my Twitch link, and everybody from TikTok that clicked on my profile and liked my videos went over to my Twitch. Now, this isn't a video about how to grow on TikTok, but I'll give you a couple base tips. One, when you're first starting out, you need to be posting a lot. TikTok is not a platform like YouTube where you have to have super high quality content. On TikTok, you can turn around, film yourself for 60 seconds and post it. There is no editing that has to be done. There is nothing high quality about your camera that needs to be there. It's really just raw, and it's more focused on personality of the creator than anything else. So if you have a good personality and you want to grow through that, post videos with your personality. For me, I posted a lot of tech videos in the beginning because that's something that I'm interested in, and now I have a lot of people in my chat all the time on Twitch that watch my gameplay and ask questions about tech, and we have conversations about that. If you're not into tech and you're more of a competitive player, post highlights, post gaming clips. You can even go into an editing software and edit those down into little montages and post them on TikTok. Those perform really well. But yeah, TikTok is super important, and then once you already have an audience built up of a lot of followers, that's when you can start doing YouTube if that's something you want to pursue later down the line. But in the beginning, starting off on YouTube is very hard. Starting off on TikTok is very easy. So I would focus a lot more on TikTok than any other platform. The next thing you need to be doing when you're not live is networking. Now, I know you've heard this word in a lot of other YouTube videos. It gets thrown around a lot in the community, but nobody else really explains how to network and why you should network. Now, networking does not mean going into Tim the Tatman's chat and trying to talk to people. That won't work. Tim the Tatman is obviously way too big. What I did is I found a bunch of streamers that I personally liked that had in the 50 to 150 viewer range, and I started being in their chats all the time. If you're looking to grow on Twitch and you're looking to grow on YouTube and TikTok and all of these things, you need to be able to commit time every day that you can be in someone else's chat and talk to their community. Now, obviously, you don't want to take someone else's community and just build that off of your own, and then your community is basically just a watered down version of someone else's, but it's a good way to get your name out there and get people to know you before you even start streaming, because then a lot of people will already know who you are. So when someone mentions, hey, do you follow Slush or something, they'll know, oh, Slush, that guy that's always in this person's chat that I really like. Oh, I might go check him out. So networking is very important, but I wouldn't focus a ton on it as it's not the end all be all. I would focus a lot more on something like TikTok than networking. Another thing about networking is playing with other streamers. This is huge, especially if the streamer is in that like 100, 150 viewer range. If you're playing with them and other people are seeing you play and hearing you in their Discord call, they're gonna get to know you a lot more than if you're just in their chat. Now, this doesn't mean go into other streamers' chats and beg to play with them, because streamers hate that, but if they're looking for an extra player, offer yourself up there, and then if you get to play with them, it's an extra boost to your networking. But again, in the grand scheme of things, networking is a very small part of growing. It's just a way to kind of get your name out there and get known before you actually start building a community. Now, the last thing I want to talk about that you need to be keeping in mind when you're not live is balance. And by this, I mean balancing time spent live streaming and time spent doing other things to help grow. When you're first starting out, streaming should be a very small part of what you're doing. If you want to become a big Twitch streamer later on, I know this sounds backwards, but you shouldn't be streaming that much in the beginning. The first 7 months of me streaming, I only streamed on weekends. I never streamed on weekdays. And I grew over 20,000 followers only streaming on weekends. And the reason I did this is because on weekdays, I focused 100% on TikTok. I was posting over 10 videos a day on TikTok every single day throughout the whole week. And then on weekends, I would go live and stream to those people that I gained an audience from on TikTok. You need to be spending much more time on content creation on other platforms like TikTok and YouTube, mainly TikTok. Again, YouTube is not really a good idea when you start out unless you really want to do YouTube and think that you have that passion for it. And when you go live, don't stream for like 10 hours a day, stream for 2 to 3 hours. And again, I only streamed on weekends. I'm not saying that you should only stream on weekends, but if you're going to be streaming every day, only stream for like an hour or something, and then spend that extra free time that you have creating TikToks and creating YouTube videos. So now that that's out of the way, you've kind of figured out how to start growing a platform. Now I want to talk about what to do when you have that platform and you go live to those people. Because now that you've built this community and these people are coming into your chat, you need to keep them there and you need to keep them watching you and coming back every time you go live. The first thing I want to talk about is personality. This is going to be different for everybody, so there is no copy and paste personality that works and that you should copy from me. But the main things to take away from personality is that you always need to be engaged in your chat, and you need to show a lot of the things that you're interested in on stream. So by always talking to chat, I don't mean literally keeping your eyes glued to chat and never paying attention to the game, but you need to be reading every chat message and staying engaged with your chat. Your chat should be your priority over the game, unless you're a super competitive streamer and that's the niche that you're going for, is like the comp scene, in which case definitely focus on the game, make sick plays, and then talk to your chat about those plays after you've made them. But for the most part, if you're just starting out as a content creator and streamer, you need to be talking to your chat way more than actually focusing on the game. This doesn't mean ignore the game, you can still play it, it's just finding that balance, and it will take you a little while to find this balance. It's not easy, and it's not the same for everybody. I still do make sure to read every single chat message and respond to every single chat message. You've got to find that balance for yourself, and part of that depends on what niche you want to be in, so really this is personal preference, but just remember, stay engaged with your chat, because if you don't answer their questions and you're not reading their messages for 10 minutes, they're just gonna leave and they have no reason to be there. Personally, I don't think I've ever let a chat message go more than 15 or 20 seconds without being answered, and that's because I do want to have an engaging chat and I want to have a community that I can talk with all the time while I'm streaming. By showing personality on stream, as you can see, I have a pretty cool background that I've built over my months streaming. You definitely don't need this like sick gamer background or whatever to be a successful streamer. This is just my way of showing some personality, showing my favorite colors, showing some cool background behind me to keep people interested in asking questions. For you, this could be putting action figures on your wall, it could be putting posters up, it could be having a green screen like Hiko does and having a Sakura theme behind you. It doesn't really matter, it's different for everybody and you need to find your own niche there, but show some personality. If you don't have a face cam on, it's going to be really hard to grow unless you're in the top 1% of whatever game you're playing. It's hard to find a streamer engaging and entertaining if you can't see them and you can't actually feel like you're talking to them. Personally, I have a face cam and a hand cam as well, just to show a little bit more, show my desk, show my keyboard, my mouse. People ask more questions, people are more interested in the stream. It just helps to boost that engagement a little bit. The next thing that you need to be doing while you're live is playing with friends. I know this can seem a little bit weird since I just told you to focus a lot more on chat than other things, but playing with friends is super important because it helps keep the stream alive and there's never a dead moment. I found that when I play by myself, there's usually a lot of dead moments where nothing's happening, there's nothing coming through the viewers' headsets, I'm not talking to them, I'm focusing on the game, and it's just dead silence in the background besides game audio. No one really wants to watch that. It's boring to watch somebody who's dead silent 90% of the time, and it's really hard to talk by yourself constantly for 3 hours straight to your chat. So if you have friends in the call to keep things entertaining, if you're playing with those friends, you can make callouts to them, keep things engaging for the chat. The main thing that you want to be focusing on here is eliminating those dead moments where nothing's happening, and you as a streamer will know when there's those dead moments, and you need to react to those and pick up the mood and keep things alive as much as you can. Because if you're playing a game and suddenly things go dead, it's super boring for the viewers. Now, as you can see, it's pretty boring to just sit there and watch a streamer play a game like that. Some people may be interested if you're super good at the game, but again, the majority of you watching this video are not going to be good enough to pull that off. So keep engaged with your friends in the Discord call, and that will keep your chat engaged with what you're hearing in the conversation. The last thing is how to interact with your chat. This also ties into stopping those dead moments, but the majority of the time, streamers will just let that dead silence sit and they won't do anything to pick it up because they don't know how to pick it up. Now, obviously this is easier said than done, but asking questions is a great way to keep chat involved. Starting polls in your chat is a great way to keep chat involved. Asking some question that you know will spawn like a friendly argument, like saying, oh, what's better, McDonald's or Burger King or something, and seeing what your chat thinks, or if you just tell your friend about a play they made in the game and then ask chat, like, what do you think you should have done there? Something like that. You can keep your chat involved, and if you ask them for their opinion, your chat will feel more valued to be there. If you're constantly egoing your chat and acting like you're better than all of them, then that's on you and they're not going to want to watch you. But if you're asking your chat for tips, a lot of those people will think, oh, he wants me to give him tips, he wants me to be here and involved with him. So things like that are super important for your chat. Ask them questions, ask them for tips, ask them what games they play, ask them what they did that day. Sometimes I'll put my go live noti, I'll say, it's Saturday, who's on summer or something, or I'll be like, does anyone have any homework? Like, just random things like that that keep chat engaged, because as a streamer, you have to keep your chat engaged. That is the #1 priority of your stream. It's not making sick plays, it's not making sure your background looks cool, it's not making sure your audio is crisp, it's keeping your chat engaged, because if they're not engaged, they will leave and you'll be left with a dead stream. So I hope this video was helpful to you in some way. Again, a lot of these things that I gave you were pretty open-ended and left for your interpretation and your personal molding into your own personality and your strengths and weaknesses. Some people are naturally shy on camera, so to get around this, you need to be streaming a lot more. Some people are already super comfortable on camera and super comfortable with how their stream's quality is, so they need to be spending more time on content creation. A lot of this is about finding your own balance for your streams, and that's fine. It'll take you a while to figure that out. But if you listen to these 3 things you need to be doing while you're live and 3 things you need to be doing while you're not live, I guarantee you can help to kickstart your growth at least that little bit to get you started and get you building that community. If you learned anything, be sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe. If you have any questions, you can leave them in my comments or come check out my Twitch streams. Right now I'm playing a lot of Valorant, doing a lot of just chatting, things like that. If that sounds interesting to you, my Twitch link will be in the bio or in the pinned comment. With that being said, I really hope you guys learned something. I'm Slush, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.